Hello students, welcome to lesson 4 on angle of elevation and depression. I hope you are all doing well. Good. In our previous lesson, we continued with solving of questions and we looked at example 3. We solved example 3 and then I gave you an assignment. I hope you've all done the assignment. Good. Now in this lesson, we will continue with solving of questions and we will look at example 4, which is a little bit involving than example 3. Right. Now before we begin, let's first look at the assignment. There were 2 questions in all. Let's begin with the first one. Right. So as I've been telling you, anytime you have the question, the first thing is for you to read the question to understand. So after reading the question to understand, the next thing is for you to visualize the scenario and then you draw a diagram. In order for you to draw the diagram, you have to use the definition of angle of elevation to identify the point of observation and the object. I hope that is what you did. Good. So now, let's look at the solution. Right. So this is the diagram. This is the diagram. So you were told that the man was what? 2 meters tall. And he was standing 12 with 3 meters, okay, away from what? From the flagpole. So this is the flagpole. This is the man. And this is the distance between the flagpole and the man. Now this is the angle of elevation, which is 30 degrees. Okay, good. Now you realize that AC and then ED are parallel and equal. So once they are equal and parallel, they will have the same value. So that is why you see AC also having the measure what? 12 with 3. Okay. Also, AE, which is the height of the man, is equal and parallel to what? CD. Okay, so if this is equal to this, then it means that CD will also be what? 2 meters. So that is why you see this what? Measures there. I hope you are okay. Good. Now, we were to find out the height of the flagpole. Now, BD is the flagpole. So to get the height of the flagpole, we realize that we have to add BC to what? To CD. So when we add BC to CD, we'll get the height of the flagpole. We already have what? CD here, which is 2 meters. So it means that we need what? BC. Okay, good. Now to make our calculation simpler, we are using the letter H here, okay, to represent what? BC. Good. So now the next thing for you to do is to look for the appropriate trig ratio that connects the H to the 12 with 3 and then the 30 degree angle. And looking at it carefully, we have to use what? Tan, because the H is opposite to the 30 and 12 with 3 is what? Adjacent to the 30. And remember, because we have what? This 90 degree angle here, that is why we are using what? The trig ratio. It's a right angle triangle. Good. So now, tan 30 degrees is equal to what? H over 12 with 3. So making H the subject, H will be equal to what? 12 with 3 tan 30 degrees. So with the help of the calculator, tan 30 will be given us with 3 on 3. And then multiplying and simplifying, we are getting our H to be what? 12 meters. So the H is what? 12 meters. Good. But we know that to find the height of the flagpole, we have to add the H to what? To the 2 meters. Is that okay? So let's do that. Good. So here the height of the flagpole will be equal to what? BC plus CD. Okay, BC plus what? Plus CD. And BC is the same as the H. We calculated it and we got what? 12. And CD was already what? Given, or we solve it for ourselves, which is what? 2. So 12 plus 2 will give us what? 14. But we were told to leave our answer to 2 decimal places. So 14 is a whole number. To 2 decimal places, we have to add 0.00. So therefore, we conclude by saying that the height of the pole is what? 14.00 meters. So students, this is the solution to the first question. Now let's look at the second one. Good. Now the second one is a little bit different from the first one. Here we were asked rather to calculate for what? The angle of elevation. Okay, so here we need the angle, not the distance or height. Okay, so the same concept will apply here. You read the question to understand, you visualize it, you draw a diagram using what? Lines. You use the definition of angle of elevation to identify the point of observation and the object. I hope you are with me. Good. So now, let's look at the solution. Good. So this is also the diagram. Now we're told that the height of the man is what? 1.5 meters. And then this is the tower. BD is the tower. And the distance between the man and the tower is what? 20 meters. Okay, 20 meters. And we were also told that the tower is what? 25 meters. So the height of the tower is what? 25 meters. Okay, good. So the same concept as the first one. Now, AC is the same as what? ED, because they are equal and what? Parallel. So here, AC will also have the measure what? 20 meters. Okay. Also, CD is equal to what? AE. Is that okay? So CD will also have the measure what? 1.5 meters. Good. Now, where from this 23.5? Remember, we were told that the height of the tower is what? 25 meters. So if the tower is 25 meters high and part of it is 1.5 meters, then it means that the other part will be what? 23.5. So we got this 23.5 by subtracting the 1.5 from what? From the 25, and it gave us 23.5. So you have your 90 degree here, so you have your right angle triangle. So the next step is to what? To look for the appropriate trig ratio that connects the angle theta, the BC, and what? The AC. Okay, and looking at the diagram, the appropriate trig ratio will be what? Tan. So tan theta. So here we need the angle. So tan theta will be equal to what? 23.5 over 20. Okay, so because we want the angle, we find tan inverse of what? 23.5 on what? On 20. And from the calculator, we'll be getting 49.6001 degree. Okay, so we were to leave our answer to the nearest what? Degree. So 49.6001 degrees to the nearest degree will be equal to what? 50 degrees. 50 degrees. So this is the angle of elevation. But we have to what? Conclude. Good. So we conclude by saying, therefore, the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from his eye is 50 degrees. 50 degrees. So students, this is the solution to the assignment. Make sure you go through and then you correct your mistakes. If you were able to score all auto, clap for yourselves. You've done well. Alright, now let's move on to our main lesson for today. Example 4. Example 4. Good. Now, as I said, example 4 is a little bit involving than example 3. Now, don't get scared by the number of sentences in the question. At times, students will see how plenty the question has been framed, and then they tend to be down, to look down upon themselves that they can't do it. No. If you get the question, don't be scared. Just read the question to understand, visualize it, draw a diagram and you'll be okay. Okay, so don't be scared by the volume of what sentences that you see. Is that okay? Right. So let's read the question. Let's read the question. Good. It says what? The angle of elevation of the top of a tower from 2 points X and Y at the opposite sides of the tower and on the same straight line as the foot of the tower are 30 degrees and 45 degrees respectively. If the tower is 10 meters high, find the distance between the 2 points to 2 decimal places. So this is our question. So as I said, you read the question to understand. So let's read it again. The angle of elevation of the top of a tower from 2 points X and Y at the opposite sides of the tower and on the same straight line as the foot of the tower are 30 degrees and 45 degrees respectively. If the tower is 10 meters high, find the distance between the 2 points to 2 decimal places. So we have read the question, we have understood. The next thing is for us to what? To draw a diagram using what? Lines. But to draw the diagram, we have to use the definition of what? Angle of elevation, sorry, to identify our point of observation and the object. Good. So looking at the question, okay, looking at the question, it says the angle of elevation of the top of a tower. So of the top of a tower. So it means that the top of the tower is our object from 2 points X and Y. So it means that our point of observation, this time they are 2 from 2 points, that is X and Y. I hope you are following. Good. So here we'll have 2 points of what? Observation. And you also have to take note that they are what? At the opposite side of the tower. So we have 2 points of observation and then we have what? Just an object. We're given the angle of what? Elevation. And then the height of what? Of the tower. So student, this is what you need to draw the diagram. You need your objects, you need your point of observation, and that is all. So now that we have been given the 30 degree and then the 45, now take note respectively. So it means that in that order. So you have to be careful of this word, respectively. It means in that order. So it means that the 30 degree is for X and then the 45 is for what? Is for Y. I hope you are with me. Good. So now let's look at the solution. Good. So our point of observation were what? X and Y. So 2 points, X and Y. Okay. And then we also have what? A tower. Good. So this is our tower. I hope you are following. Good. And we're told that at the opposite sides of the tower there are 2 points X and Y. So this is our X, this is our Y. Okay. Now they are at opposite sides of what? Of the tower. So we want to look for the what? The angle of what? Of elevation. Sorry. We are to draw the angle of elevation. Now this is the distance between them. Okay. So the distance between X and Y is what we are to look for. Now the angle of elevation are as follows. Good. So this will be our diagram. This will be our diagram. So we're told that the angle of elevation of the top of the tower from the point X is what? 30 degrees. Okay, 30 degrees. And that of the point Y is what? 45 degrees. 45 degrees. I hope you are following. Good. And we should know that this will be what? Perpendicular, because on a straight line. So the tower is what? Perpendicular to what? To the straight line that we're given. I hope you are following. Good. So we have our angle of elevation, we have our 2 points, we have our tower. So now let's complete the labeling. So that place will be V and this place will be W. Right. So we have our complete diagram. We have our complete diagram. Okay. And then we're told that the height of the tower is what? 10 meters. So 10 meters. The height of the tower is 10 meters. So this is our complete diagram. Now we're told to find the distance between the 2 points. So the 2 points are X and what? Y. So we want the distance between what? The 2 points. Okay. The distance between the 2 points. So this is it. Sorry. So we want this distance. Point X and what? Point Y. Now looking at the diagram carefully, you realize that to get the distance from point X, okay, to point Y, we have to add we have to add the distance XW, okay, to the distance of WY. Let me take it again. To find the distance between point X and point Y, we have to add the distance between point X and point W to what? The distance between point W and what? Point Y. Okay, so when we get the value for the distance between point X and point W, and we add it to the distance between point W and point Y, we will get the distance between the 2 points. I hope you are with me. Good. So now let's proceed by looking for the distance between X and W, and then also the distance between W and what? And Y. Right. So here we will look for the appropriate trig ratio to use. The appropriate trig ratio to use. So here we have our opposite, which is 10. And the XW will be what? Our adjacent. Okay. XW will be our adjacent to the 30-degree angle. So the best or appropriate trig ratio to use is what? Tan 30 degrees. So tan. Okay. So here, tan 30 degrees will be equal to what? Opposite, so which is what? Our 10 divided by the adjacent, which is what? XW. So here we have to make XW the subject. Okay, so making XW the subject, we are going to get XW, okay, tan 30 degrees, which will be equal to what? 10. Okay, so now making XW the subject, XW, okay, will be equal to 10 divided by tan 30. Okay, good. So now we need the calculator. So let's get our calculator. Good. So we have to punch 10, then divided by tan 30. So let's close it. Good. So we have 10 divided by tan 30 now equal to. So the calculator is giving us what? 10 root 3. The calculator is giving us 10 root 3. But we have to convert this one to what? To decimal. So we'll first of all write the 10 root 3, alright, but we'll change it to what? To decimal. So in changing it to decimal, you press this SD button here on top of the delete. When you punch it, it will change it to decimal. When you punch it again, it will bring it back. So punch it, and we are getting what? 17.3205. So as I've been telling you, you leave it to 4 decimal places. Okay, so 17.3205. Good. So let's look at it. Good. So here, our XW, okay, will be equal to what? 10 root 3. 10 root 3 meters. Okay, 10 root 3 meters. But we have to change it to what? To decimal. So we saw that our XW will be equal to 17.3205 meters. 17.3205 meters. Good. So students, we have our XW. We have our XW. So the next thing is for us to calculate for what? WY. And here also we will need what? The appropriate trig ratio to use. So the 10 is opposite to the 45-degree angle, and then WY is what? Adjacent to the 45-degree angle. So we need what? Tan. Okay, so let's continue. So now we are going to have tan 45 degrees will be equal to opposite, which is the 10, divided by the adjacent, which is what? WY. Okay, so let me have this. Sorry. Okay, so making WY the subject, we are going to have WY tan 45 degrees, which is equal to what? 10. So our WY will be equal to 10 divided by tan 45 degrees. So with the help of the calculator, we know that tan 45 degrees is what? Is 1. So it means that our WY, okay, our WY will be equal to what? 10 meters. So if you want to confirm, we've done this one before. So tan 45 is what? Is 1. Good. So our WY is equal to what? 10 meters. Our WY is equal to what? 10 meters. But we are not done. We know that we're to find what? The distance between what? Point X and what? Point Y. So we know that XY, that is the distance between point X and point Y, is equal to what? XW, okay, plus what? WY. Okay, so we calculated for XW and we had 17.3205 plus our WY, we got what? 10. So putting these two together, okay, we are going to have what? 27 point what? 3205. 27.3205. I hope you are following. Good. 27.3205 meters. Good. Sorry. But the question says we should leave our answer to 2 decimal places. So changing this one to 2 decimal places, we are going to have XY to be equal to what? To 2 decimal places, we are going to have 27.32 meters. 27.32 meters. So students, this is the answer to the question. So we can conclude that therefore the distance between X and Y is 27.32 meters. So therefore the distance between X and Y is 27.32 meters. 27.32 meters. Good. So students, this is the solution to what? Example 4. It's not difficult, it's straightforward. You just need your diagram, you focus on what is missing, and then you apply the appropriate trig ratio to get it. Okay, good. So this is where we'll end for today. So you know I will not leave you without an assignment. So let's look at the assignment. Good. So this is the assignment. Read it visualize it, draw a diagram, use the definition to help you identify points of observation and the object, and you'll be good to go. Okay? Good. So, till we meet again, revise, read ahead. Bye.